plug that guy in. You can see my phone is charging. So let's go ahead and play. Yeah! Alright, so this is Christian Toth here with Coachstop Motorworks. So something different, it's actually on my daily driver. Something I've had an issue with is getting my phone connected to the entertainment system. So for any of you guys that have a 2006 Land Rover Range Rover full size, it seems to be the only year that did not have any kind of integration or auxiliary import or input, or even a kit that you get, like a conversion kit. The biggest issue I've had with, I know a lot of these other kind of auxiliary input kits would hook up through the 6-disc CD changer. Unfortunately with this, it's a fiber optic audio system. So that, I guess, to interpret that like a box that would interpret or be able to interfere with that fiber optic signal is proprietary. So nobody really has any information on it. So what I did is I done a ton of research and I didn't find anything. YouTube, a bunch of forums, asked tons of people through a bunch of my Facebook groups and got nothing. So I think I've come up with a solution. A lot of people are talking about an FM transmitter and stuff, and I remember those things from like 10 years ago. You plug them in your cigarette lighter and bogus. Terrible. Not something that I wanted to use. Kind of particular about sound quality, and if it's not going to sound good, then I don't know really what's the point. So we have a nice Harman Kardon sound system in here, as you can see. So I'd like to take advantage of it. I got a big touch screen and stuff I've started taking apart. So what is my solution? The solution is it's called an FM modulator. So something a little different that I wasn't familiar with, and it's actually a wired transmitter that wires splices in through your antenna. So as you can see here, it's a good diagram of it. So this is what the product looks like. Now I got this from what's it called? Crutchfield, and it came with my corresponding antennas. So, or antenna conversions. So the way this thing works is I am going to power this interference module through a power and negative, and then I'm going to splice it into my TV antenna. And then I've gone for the option where you can actually plug it into the bottom of your iPhone, as opposed to a Bluetooth option, or most of the other options were through like an audio cable. But what this allows me to do is to charge it while I'm also listening to music. So my thought is, so instead of having, you have this stupid cord, the idea is you set this box in, your iSimple box, and we'll go over how to install that behind the radio, and then you would have your phone cord or your input cord woven through and just sticking out. Don't like that look. I wanted something that looks a little more professional, something that could have been identified as actually coming with the car. So my thought was, you can see I have my dashboard or my center console here out. My thought was, well, let's take out one of the cigarette lighters here, that would go in here, as I'll show you here. So coming back, what I did is I poked the cigarette lighter out, as you know, and I bought a basically it's a USB extension port or remote port or outlet, and I was able to shove it in there. And just keep in mind, I'll put links to all these products. They're just on Amazon. I think I spent $26 on all, based on all these little parts to make this integration work. The converter was about $100, just to let you know. Okay, so this will go in here, which is going to look real good. as you can see. Now it'll be straight, but looks pretty nice. Like it almost looks like it belonged there, or came from the factory that way, which is awesome. So I can do away with this and just turn it back, and so there'll be no switch. What they are is, I'm sure you've seen these on social media or maybe on Amazon as like suggested items. So what it is they're heat shrink connections. So they're waterproof. So they're red. So as you'll see how I use these, but let's go use this as an example. So I put my leads in on either side. I cross over my wire contacts in the center where you see the silver, which is solder. Heat it up so that the solder starts boiling and will melt and congeal and join the two separate wires together. And then these little red rings, as they heat up, they melt and create a seal around the wire. One's going to go to so this is what splices right in between. So if you think about this is my radio side, so this would go into my radio, and then this would go to my existing antenna back out. So I'm interrupting the signal in my iSimple. Now the reason I need these converters, as you can see, it's a different kind of unit, or a different kind of end. That is the connection it's a European connection. A lot of cables here. So let's get started with this one. I'm going to show you what you don't need to do. Take apart your whole dashboard, or the top half of your dashboard, and get your radio out to get your antenna right there. Antenna in the back of the radio. No, why would you hook that up there? That'd make too much sense, right? Well, turns out that is your Sirius satellite radio antenna. Because what I figured out was I could listen to music with that unplugged. So that was a good guess. That was a good analysis that probably wasn't the antenna radio. So looking back here and all the wires and stuff in the back hatch, look up here. What I found was up in here. So see this wire? So I disconnected that, and I did use my converter that I got from Crutchfield. So I got that wired in. So as you can see, this loops. This goes to my antenna. This comes into the iSimple. So somebody put a aftermarket radio or aftermarket head unit and stuff, as you can see in there, and this is just like the on-off panel. So they already wired in a ground and a power, so I'm just using those. So there's my iSimple, and it comes into my radio, in my little phone here. So that was painful. Getting to my wit's end, actually. But it did make it work, and it actually sounds pretty great. So I definitely highly recommend it. I'm going to get buttoned up, and I'll check in with you after I have the rest of my dashboard back together. So let's go ahead and get started on taking apart this center console of my L322 2006 Range Rover. So to get this all out so that I can access my cigarette lighter up here, I got to take out this whole center, but we're going to start with these two side panels. So I'll demonstrate how to do one, and it's pretty simple. There's only one screw holding each of them in. You can see it's right Here. There we are. And you can see it just kind of pops out. Kind of give it a tug. There we go. And I'll go ahead, I should probably clean that, vacuum that out. And I'll go ahead and do that on the other side. Just as a note, the star bit here that you use is a T20. Alright, so we have the center cup holder. So I've been told that this just kind of lifts out. There we go. Oh, that was pretty easy. Alright, and then to take this center off. So let's take this off. Well, we're just going to go ahead and pull it up pretty hard. There we go. So it just kind of slips in, as you can see. Able to pull that out. We'll set that to the side. And for this thing, for this center area, you're just going to kind of, I just stuck my hands in there and just pulled up and it popped right out. So that was pretty easy. So let's undo these connections right here. Alright, so I got those done. I should probably also give this a good wipe down before I reassemble this all. Okay, so there's a part of this dashboard that goes up and tucks under here. So we have to take that out, and that looks like it's another star bolt. So let me go ahead and remove this right here. Alright, so it turns out if you just lift here on the side, pull this up at the same time as you pull this side up, you can tilt it a little bit, as you can see. Tilt it a little bit out, like cockeyed a bit, and that'll let you pull the bottom one out, and you kind of are going to tip the bottom out and then pull it out. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and disconnect these here. So I have my clock and my height sensors control. So there is 6 screws, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And with those screws, as you can see, kind of got it loose now. We can get under it. I'm going to go ahead and remove the parking brake. That should allow me to kind of get way up under here, and kind of get better access to taking out the cigarette lighter. So let's get that going. So there you are. And we'll go ahead and start taking this apart and putting in our USB port. Okay, so this cigarette lighter is a great housing, as you can see. I already started popping it out. So the way I did that is, this just got bent. I really just pushed against it slowly, and as I pushed against it, I put my hands around the green surround. See that? Put it underneath it there. Or not, it won't be underneath, it'd be flat, but you know, I put it on the edge of the green, pushed down, and was able to. Alright, so finally got a bunch of my parts in that will allow me to bring my iPhone connection all the way up to my USB port. So the trick is finding these connections, but I'm going to list them down in my description below, so you can not have to go through the same struggles that I went through. So what did I get? Alright, so first I got to convert this. Basically I want to get this to a USB. So what I did is I have an iPhone female connection that converts it to a mini USB. So I can put that in here, that, and then take it mini USB to a USB. Do this, right? So then from an SS USB connection, a USB to USB, which goes like this, right? Then I can take my extension and run it up inside all the way up to the front. All right, so moment of truth. So first of all, I have my radio set to 88.3. I have my USB down here. Plug that guy in. You can see my phone is charging. So let's go ahead and play. Awesome! So it was a pain to find all the parts and to come up with a system that would work, but I have a plug-in charging USB port that I can play my music through. So it's awesome. I'm super excited. Thank you for coming along with me on this, and appreciate you watching my channel. Again, this is Christian Toth with Coachstop Motorworks, and if you could go ahead and like and subscribe to my channel. I have a bunch of other videos, maybe some more of my Range Rover Discovery or Defender. Otherwise, you can check out my Mustang, a 65 Mustang that I'm getting ready for my wedding in about 5 months from now. So again, thanks for joining me. I'll talk to you later. Bye.